All right, it's just your average Joe, and I am joined by my co-host Jawan. Jawan, Marty, what did Marty teach you?
How to clean money.
All right,
Not
and I
have
think he's
a house.
I think he's taught a lot of people that while watching this show.
No,
Uh
personally, he trained me and taught me how to.
oh, even better,
Hmm.
even better. And I learned whatever I learned from Walter White. So and we're not getting into that. All right, so we're gonna go over our part one of season four, latest season to drop, the final season of the show. They broke it down into two parts. We're gonna
Hmm.
go over our spoiler review and discussion in just a few seconds. And we're back. All right. All right, so let's start out. With how it begins. Obviously, it begins with them in the car, driving. Everything seems to be a little bit a lot calmer, especially with Jonah, and what we've learned in this season. From what he's the way he's been in this whole season. When you look back at that scene with the car accident, you're I'm wondering now if that was a dream, because he still looks a little reluctant in that scene, but it could be a dream. We've had that dream sequence where Wendy dreams she's killing Marty, right? Was that season 2 or season 3? I can't remember even what season that was.
3.
Okay. Could be 2. It could be it honestly, at this point, it doesn't matter, but yeah, you might be right.
Could be 2.
In one of the previous scenes, it's shown that, and we think, I guess, real time, it's happening for real, and then you find out it's a dream. So I'm wondering, just based on the way Jonah's demeanor was and how he was acting with Wendy, and what we've know, the turmoil that transpired throughout the whole course of the season, um, if that in fact was a dream, or again, it could just be like, I mean, that could be, it is just a future event
Hmm.
that we're going to open up on part 2. But I don't know. What do you think?
I don't know. I to me, it's hard to say dream when we saw no one wake up from it.
Yeah, well, no, we could find that out, because that's the cliffhanger, right? Because we know what happens in the beginning, right? So you're like, all right, so once they rewind, and you're like, okay, now they're going to tell the story leading up to that event, right?
Hmm.
Nobody wakes up from that, yeah, but I think that might be the cliffhanger. Does that really happen, or is somebody going to wake up from that?
I don't know. That's like such a weird cliffhanger. It'd be like watching Final Destination, right?
Right.
Everyone dies in the weirdest ways,
Hmm.
and then you get to the end, and you're like, all right, how can they top all these different deaths? And the way that the guy dies is he literally trips over his shoestring, hits his head on the ground, and dies. And it's like, what the fuck was that?
Yeah.
So in a show where it's all about drug lords and people getting murdered and their heads cut off, in a car accident is how maybe some of them or one of them dies. That is
That's why I don't think
that's horrible.
that's why I think it's either a dream, or nobody's going to die in there. I really don't think anybody's going to die. But the point is, what is the point of that scene? Of the car
I'm with
accident.
you. I'm with you.
Although, going back, because I was watching some recaps of previous seasons, there's a car accident in almost every season. That's I think in season 1, Wendy gets into a car accident and she actually miscarries. I think I'm pretty sure, because of that, as a
No, no,
result of
no.
that.
That was this or last season. Not last season. Maybe somewhere in this season. It was this season. Because it was them showing us how Marty got into business with the
Well,
cartel.
no, I know, but that's a flashback. So you're right. It's not season 1, but it's the events before season 1, because it's,
Okay. You're
yeah,
talking
I'm
timeline.
sorry.
Okay.
So you're right. You're right. Maybe we didn't see that in season 1, but it's the events of what happened,
I
what,
got you.
and then, it led down the road of obviously Marty getting recruited, and we see Wendy obviously had an affair. So all the things that led up to everything that we are now in. So that's my mistake. Yeah. Maybe that scene wasn't shown in season 1. I just knew it was before everything started.
Yeah.
So that's why I thought maybe season 1.
Yeah. 'Cause it was
Remember,
focusing.
I haven't seen that in years, that season. So
Right. No, I rewatched the whole series before completing this final season.
oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just because it's like sometimes like I hate watching a series that hasn't been on for a long time, and it has been almost like 2.5
It has
years.
been for a while.
'Cause then,
Stranger Things is gonna be the same issue.
right? Because then I'm like, fuck, who was that guy? Like I can't remember that guy. Who is this guy? And then
I
I'm
just
like,
did the
fuck, I got to
recaps.
go back.
I just did the recaps. That's what I did to bring me up to speed, but I would have wanted to do that, and I should have. And honestly, it caught me by surprise when this was dropped. I totally forgot it was getting dropped.
You know what
When
you
it
got to do, bro? You got to do
what?
what I do. You got to go to Netflix, go to the tab where it tells you everything coming out, and
Okay.
just click reminder set,
All right.
and
I'm
it'll
gonna
send you an email telling you like, hey, Ozark drops
got
today.
it.
And I do that with all the shows because I'm like, it's too many streaming services, and
Way too many.
I actually watch cable shows too. It's too much stuff to remember. So Netflix does that where it says reminder set, and it'll just send you an email, or if you have the app on your phone, it'll just send you a notification
See,
saying, "Hey,
Apple
drop
TV
today."
does that for me. Apple TV will send me a, yeah, hey, because I told you I watched that series After Party. Hey, After Party just dropped a new episode today, or whatever. So maybe I should do that for Netflix. But going back to the previous seasons and some of the characters that we had that obviously are no longer here, like the character of Buddy, um,
Mm-hmm.
Dell, the first guy from the cartel.
Mm-hmm.
Um, what was Snell's the husband? What was his name again? Um,
I can't remember, which sucks because
Darlene's husband. Maybe I can
yes,
find it really
Darlene's
quick.
husband.
He was a big part, obviously, until he got killed off. But
Yeah, I
just
hated how
Jacob Snell.
Jacob Snow. Yep, I
Yeah.
hated how he died.
So if you had to pick right now, and then we'll get into obviously what's going on with this season. If you had to pick a character that's one of your favorites, who stands out? Besides the obvious, I think Marty's probably the main character, right? But who would you say is probably your standout character that you like the most?
I'd have to say, what's her name as your backdrop?
Yeah, that's why I have her as a backdrop. I think Ruth, especially
Yeah.
from the way the character has evolved from the first season to now, and the emotion, just that scene alone. And then obviously when she's driving away and you is she going to meet up with Javi? Is she going to do something stupid? We don't know yet, obviously, because that's how the season ends. But it's just, I love her character. I might not have liked her. I can't really remember if I liked her from the get go.
I
Obviously,
don't
my
think I like
favorite.
anybody from the get go.
Oh, I love Marty. Yeah,
I
how can
think
you
the
not like
season,
Jason Bateman?
well, no. There's not many people I love more than Jason Bateman. That's even
Y-
family.
Yeah.
But Marty, Jason Bateman always plays a really good asshole.
Yep.
And it's why I never watch Friends. I'm not a big fan of sarcasm. Because I can't usually tell it. You know what I'm saying? Like
Really?
sometimes it just goes over my head. Because
See,
when
I'm a
Jason
very
Bateman
sarcastic
talks,
person. Okay.
but when Jason Bateman talks, like his characters, sorry, because I don't know the man, but his
Right.
characters,
I
it
understand.
sometimes sounds genuine, and then you're just like, "Oh, thank you," and he's like, "No,
Yeah.
I
No.
didn't mean that," and you're like, "Oh, fuck you! Like, what the, like, what the hell? I didn't do anything to you."
That's what I love about Bateman because his humor is sort of in tone with mine,
Mhm.
and I get it. I love sarcastic. I love dry, quick, very quick humor, very quick wit.
I'm
Uh,
I'm good on dry humor. It's why Curb Your Enthusiasm is one of the greatest comedies of all time. I can do that because
right.
he's just honest. It's no sarcasm. He's telling you exactly how he feels.
Yes.
But it's the sarcasm that sometimes I can't pick up. And I'm like, I don't really know what you meant there. And like sometimes I'll uncomfortably laugh because I'm like, I don't really know what you mean. So I hate it. I personally hate it. So watching his character, even when he's telling his wife, the best fucking sleep I've ever had is when I'm thinking about your lover's head going splat off the fucking pavement.
That's great.
You know what I'm saying? And then she
Yeah.
slaps the shit out of him. But just stuff like that. I'm like, and again, his feelings are valid. Like I understand why he said that to her because it's like, bitch, you cheated on me.
Yep.
You know how many times I could have cheated on you, but I didn't. I'm masturbating in parking lots just to avoid cheating on you.
Yeah.
Um, So like I get it, and I'm not saying I dislike his character. I really hate sarcasm. I
I
just
got you.
despise it.
No, I got you. I understand
But
that.
Ruth, yes, Ruth is 100% my favorite. I don't
The
think I don't think I disliked her from the beginning. I think I was just more so curious because I never watched the trailer to the first season.
Me neither.
I just saw everyone talking about it, and I said, "All right, I'll check it out."
I just checked it out just because of Bateman, honestly. I had no idea what it was about.
Yeah, my dad was telling me like, "Hey, check it out. It's a really good show." So I'm like, "Okay." So I'm watching it, and I'm like, I didn't know the extent of what her role would be.
Right.
I think I never really thought too much of like I liked her or disliked her. It was just like, well, if she stays here at the hotel and then they're no longer at the hotel, was she just like one of those secondary? And then when you see what her role becomes, it's like, oh,
Yeah.
it's fucking awesome. It's fucking awesome.
Another character that I liked kind of came around, but they did a switch on us because Jonah was more I wouldn't say obedient, but he was, right? And Charlotte was trying to be the rebellious one,
Yeah.
a rebellion again, but it's obviously just a teenager thing as well.
Mm-hmm.
But Charlotte did a switch.
Yep.
And Charlotte's more like, uh, taking the reins, doing what she needs to do. She walked in when Ruth was trying to fucking, hack into the computer or get, information that she needed from Marty's computer. And she's like, yeah, no, my parents put me in control and they don't want you fucking here. Get out.
Right.
But now Jonah is just like, you're like, oh my God, what the fuck are you doing? Like he's telling Darlene shit. He obviously at the very final scene, he tells Ruth who's responsible for this in Javi. And now you're like, fuck, because now she's going to go after Javi and it's going to fuck everything up because Javi being alive is what's keeping them alive. So there's a lot of things at play that we're going to probably see in part 2, but I love I love where Charlotte has come from where she started off because she was very whiny and annoying, but now Jonah's there. And it's just like, fuck, why can't they both be on the same page? When is Jonah going to get killed?
That's all I'm waiting for. That's all I'm fucking waiting for. Yeah, because he's like a little piece of shit. You know what I'm saying? It makes me uncomfortable to say that, but he is a little.
No, you are
fucking piece of
100%.
shit.
I think of all the times growing up, I was upset. I mean, granted, my parents weren't laundering money for a drug cartel
Not that I know.
and fucking hiding bodies in a crematory or burning bodies in a crematory, I should say. But I didn't always obviously agree with either methods or just whatever. So I had many resentments and, whatever. I had a rebellious stage, but I would never, ever put any of my family, especially my mom, in danger. So I can't, I don't know.
I will say, to be fair,
Although
finding
his
out your
uncle was
mom,
killed.
yes, finding out your mom
Yeah.
had your uncle killed
Yeah.
muddies the waters. And also remember, I think a part of him blames his mom for Buddy's death.
Yeah.
So it's like you look at it and you're just like, Buddy was my best friend, which every time he says it, I'm just like,
That's very weird. It was like an 80-year gap in age, but
right.
yeah, I
And
get it.
again, nothing was
It's like a grandfather.
just to our listeners, right? There was
Yeah.
nothing gross or weird going
No,
on.
no.
It's just to hear a kid say a 90-year-old was his best friend is just like, I failed you as a parent. Like I really have failed you as a parent.
Well, he had nothing else to do. I mean, to be fair, he had no one else. Marty was doing what he was doing. Yeah, so I get why he befriended Buddy because Buddy was the only one that was paying attention to him.
100%.
So I get it.
So again, I understand where Jonah's coming from in the amount of grief that he's going through.
Mhm.
And he doesn't really know what to do with it, so he just rebelled. I mean, look, teenagers naturally rebel. We all know this, right?
Yeah.
On top of that, dealing with family that's laundering money, a cartel being leveraged over your head,
Mhm.
the FBI or CIA just right there ready to swoop in and fuck everything up.
And that fucking annoying PI. Oh
Yes,
man, he's so
PI.
annoying.
And on top of that, you just lost your uncle and your old man friend.
Really quick though about that PI.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me he didn't remind you of the FBI agent from the previous seasons.
He did. I thought it was his brother. So
Right? I thought they were either related or I was like, wait a minute. Wait, what? Because didn't he get killed? He got killed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Super died.
In the woods. He was killed in the woods, right?
Yeah, his dad killed him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
So yeah,
so
then when
weird,
you get his background, it's like, oh, okay. Because I'm like,
Yeah.
kind of does look like him for sure. What was I gonna say?
You were
Yeah, so
talking about
I
Buddy and yeah.
understand. I understand Jonah's his trajectory, but my only problem is, it's like, bro, if she tells him and he dies, the cartel will strike upon all of you. They won't just go, all right, well, you're a kid, you had nothing to do with it. Go ahead.
Yeah.
No, all of you will die.
Yeah.
But I will say really quickly before we go forward, I didn't like how they ended that. I would have preferred if we did not know who killed Darlene and Ruth's cousin.
Okay.
And we were left there going, fuck, was it the guy that she asked not to do it? What
I
did
get
he
you.
do
Yeah,
it?
yeah, yeah.
You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? And then when we find out, like, I would have loved if Ruth killed the wrong guy, you know, to start the new season. And
I
then
get
we
it.
find out it wasn't him. And now Ruth has to deal with
The Kansas
his
City
dad,
mob. Yeah.
right? The Kansas City mob on top of the the cartel.
Well, not the dad. The dad is dead. Remember.
I'm sorry, the dad is
Yeah.
dead, but the Kansas City mob, whoever the next person is to take
Yeah.
over, I would have wanted to see that.
I do. I like that. That would have been a cool cliffhanger, right? But here's what I do like that they didn't do was the whole trope of miscommunication or fingering the wrong guy, and her killing Frank Jr. Right?
Yeah.
When we know as the audience, it's not.
Yeah.
So the whole time I'm like, no, because she wouldn't let him speak, and you could tell like he was nothing like the father. Number one, and number two, he liked her.
Yep.
So there was no way. So, I mean, obviously at one point she realizes that he's telling the truth, but I was just like, oh, come on. I thought she was just I was surprised she gave him the phone call. I thought she was just going to fucking show up and kill him.
Right.
But, yeah, but well, how funny really quick was the interactions between him and Darlene to begin with. Like, sorry, I shot your dick off, buddy, but I'm going to try to make it right. And I'm going to, go over your dad's head and, give you this, whatever. But like, how do you trust somebody that literally just shot your dick off?
I don't know. I don't know how I don't want to kill them on sight. So let alone talking to them. I don't know how just seeing you doesn't make me want to just strangle you. Because that's just like, I have to imagine that's PTSD you never get over.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like every time you look at it, you're just like, you're not real. The real one got shot off.
And obviously, in spoiler alert, we don't have to worry about it now because Darlene was killed.
Right.
But I think at one point somebody needed to fucking put a sign in the front of the house. You know how it usually says "Beware of dog," beware of psycho bitch with shotgun.
Yes.
She literally just likes pulling shotguns and just shooting you off.
Simple. We got into this whole mess. Marty got into this whole mess that they're in.
Yeah.
Because she was trigger happy.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. I wasn't not only expecting that, but I love that scene when she shoots Dell because it came out of nowhere. And then the husband obviously has to fucking stick up for her and he starts shooting whoever else was there.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, obviously when Frank came in, what's his last name? Anyway, Frank from the Kansas City mob comes in and he's saying what he's saying to her. And you as an audience, you're like, all right, she's going to fucking blow him away.
Of course.
And Wyatt's just like, what the fuck? I'm going to leave her. I'm going to leave her. Will you marry me?
Yo, that kid, look, I always say this. I said this when me and Joel were talking about it because he finished it. We were talking about it on our podcast this past Monday. And I was saying, look, we all look at Wyatt and we're like, bro, you're a fucking idiot. But we all have to remember, and I'm going to be as PG about this as possible. He's never had sex before.
No, right? I know. Yeah, I get it.
It's the idea of never having sex before. And then once you have it, knowing that you can have it anytime you want, put you in a trance. Especially that first time. You were in a trance. So I get it. To him, he wasn't able to really talk to other women like that, other girls his age. He was the awkward guy, the weirdo. Because look, if he knew how to handle the situation, he would have slept with Marty's daughter numerous times already.
Yeah.
So the fact that he couldn't even finagle that, once he found Darlene, he was just like, you know what? I'm good. I don't need any other woman till she dies. I'm good.
I mean, that's
I partially understand.
Trying to do the math really quick. Okay, so 98, so that's 24, right?
Mm-hmm.
She's 70. That's a fucking dude. A set like not for nothing, no. And I don't know if they used a body double in the sex scene last season. a decent pair of tits for somebody that's that age. I'm not gonna lie. No, I mean, like they didn't look saggy or wrinkly or old when you think of grandma tits. It was. I was like, oh, but they had to have done. I'm assuming they used a body double, but
I won't assume. I don't know.
and then the other thing that came out of complete left field. We got introduced to her character in last season, in Maya Miller, Special Agent Maya Miller.
Oh yeah, that bitch got
What
it.
she did, like, she's like, no, I mean, fucking stupid, but she's like, no, this is not acceptable. We put drug cartel members in jail. What is this shit?
First of all, that is a lie. The U.S. government does not do that. The U.S. government does exactly what they were about.
Exactly what they wanted to do. Yeah, because they get money from that. They get money from that. That's stupid.
100%.
But also,
look, you have plausible deniability, because at the end of the day, if they're like, "Hey, I'll blow the whistle," you just kill them. Like the government has done so many fucking times.
Yeah.
So I'm like, no, I don't look at this and go, yeah, she did the right thing. Fuck her. Our government does this every day. They're doing it right now. They're doing it right now while watching us talk about them doing it right now. They're just like, how the fuck do they know? So to me, no, she has to die. That was the first thing I thought. Oh, yeah, you gotta die. Sorry, you gotta die. You gotta super die.
And when it's very first time we were introduced to Javi, you knew he was going to be a trouble character. Obviously, he kills the sheriff, which completely takes away Darlene's leverage, but makes the Kansas City mob back out. Like, all right, well, if you don't have that type of protection, we're not doing business with you. So he fucks everything up there. He wanted to kill. Who was the other one that he wanted to kill? Came in. Oh, the new sheriff. The new sheriff.
Yeah, I was gonna say, let's just make this easy for you. He wanted to kill anybody.
Anybody.
Marty couldn't give a good enough explanation for.
Yeah, so he almost killed the new sheriff. Yeah,
Marty, you've been doing this for too long to be that shitty when the sheriff is asking you basic questions.
Yeah.
Like, hey, where's the lady? Oh, she left on business or whatever. Okay, cool. I thought she went home.
Yeah.
And the sheriff's like, okay, cool. Why are you cleaning?
No, not only that.
If
you knew where she was, why are you worried?
Right. Yeah. Like Marty was just, and again, look, I understand. Let me be very specific here, because I know people are like, well, the guy was right there and he was ready to kill Marty, and I understand. But if you're Marty, she was asking you basic questions.
Yeah.
He wasn't asking you things where it was like, oh, you tricked me. It was just like, all right, where is she? Oh, okay. And then he's like, yeah, I was worried. I'm like, he even threw the sheriff off. She's like, worried? But if she just went home, what would you need to worry about? So I'm like, Marty was kind of shooting himself in the foot. The questions weren't difficult. You know what I'm saying? And then it's like, why are you cleaning here? Like, that's a weird thing to be doing in anyone's home.
Yeah.
Scrubbing it down?
Yeah, and I was thinking, all right, he's got to be on some type of list right here for doing that. I mean, if you're a good sheriff, you're definitely keeping a mental note of that.
A person's gone missing. You come to their home
you're
that you're expecting to be empty, and you're scrubbing it down. You have to just know that is the worst look of anything.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
The other funny part that I like, I found it funny. I liked it, was when she bought the hotel. When Ruth goes, buys a Lazio, and then she fires the woman that let her go for stealing. Right. She's like, what is she? I don't know if she calls her a cunt. I can't remember what she calls her.
But she called everyone a cunt. So that's very.
She's like, get the fuck, get your shit and get out. I love it. That's boss level. I love that.
I loved it even more when Darlene was just like, hey, yeah, you know that hotel you bought? Yeah, well, if we have no drugs to sell, you can't launder any fucking money. So you just bought a fucking low-level hotel for no reason. And Ruth was just like, oh, yeah, that's right. Like, we do need to find a way to...
How much of that was, though, when she did buy it, was revenge? Obviously, she wanted a legitimate business to launder whatever, right? So we know that. But I also think part of the reason why she picked that specific spot was because she fucking hated that bitch. And she's like, I want you out. Plus, she had ties to that. She had ties to that hotel.
Right. But I also think that was mainly just a cherry on top. I think the business aspect was numero uno. Okay. And then it was, it's like, it's the equivalent of like your teachers always telling you when you were younger, like, you'll never be shit. You'll never be shit. And you're like an Oscar nominated actor now. And you go back to that school. And then the teacher's like, hey, how are you? And you're just like, I'm sorry, who are you? Like, I don't, who the fuck are you? You know what I'm saying? Like, the cherry on top is making the teacher feel like shit, but the true business of it is just going back and being this big time fucking celebrity.
Like the celebrity cook that OD'd in the hotel? I mean, the casino?
Yes, exactly. Yes. Which is just like, bro, I like goodness gracious, can you take a break from cocaine for a second?
Yeah,
God damn.
exactly. Like, dude, what are you doing? What are
Like
you doing?
Jesus. And then shout out to Ruth, because like when Marty kept telling the guy, like, hey, do not go up there, you're gonna get Ruth killed.
Yeah.
And the guy's like, I don't give a fuck. I got a job to do.
Yep.
Fuck her. And then you see Ruth like, hey, can one of you assholes help me with this money? And it's like, oh, thank God. Oh, thank God, Ruth. Like,
Yeah.
no, I'm sorry, it was drugs, not money. But thank God you're not dead, Ruth.
I was also
Pretty
thinking
bad.
that too. Like, the guy was obviously gonna go in. I knew he was gonna take down what do you call it? Marty and forcefully go in, and then obviously she comes out. But then the other thing is too, Wendy was trying to give her away.
Yeah.
Wendy was trying to tip the FBI on her.
Yep. Yep.
So and Marty's like, dude, what are you doing?
And by the way, poor Marty. Marty in each season has gotten the shit slapped out of him by somebody each season. And when he pulls the gun on the guy and he easily takes it back, and Marty's like, oh shit. Why am I not better at this? It's okay, Marty.
Well, because he's a trained Marine, the guy. First of all, the guy's a trained Marine. Yeah.
Also, Marty is just he's a bitch.
He's an
But
accountant.
It's okay.
He's an accountant.
But
Yeah.
it's okay. It's okay. It's funnier that way. You know what I'm saying? Because if Marty just started beating up people, I'd be so turned off by this show. But him getting his ass beat very often is just like, yeah, it seems about right. Yeah, this is about right.
Somebody had made this I don't know if it's a theory because it's not a theory. It's just more like a observation. But there's a scene to kind of like go along with it as well. There was a scene between Jacob Snell and Marty. I think it's season 1 or season 2, and he basically said, the woman that took my breath away at one point is the same woman now that's literally choking the breath out of me.
Right.
Paraphrasing, I can't remember the exact line.
No, it's all right.
How much of that parallel now is the direction where Marty and Wendy are going, where Wendy is power hungry? You can tell, like, and the other question I have too, I'll ask after this, but do you see that where, I think Jacob and Darlene were both fucking crazy and, in their own way, but they were also older. So that's why they feel like this is just a younger version of the two.
Mm-hmm.
And as they get older, it could be possible. What do you think of that? Those parallels?
Well, they foreshadowed it with Jacob and Darlene when the episode where Jacob died and he's reflecting and he's thinking back when he first met Darlene.
Yep.
He said to her, "You're gonna be a whole lot of trouble."
Yep.
And at that point, she was just hot as shit, so it was like it's kind of worth it.
Yeah.
But yeah, he saw that from that moment.
Yep.
And if you're Marty, you kind of thinking to yourself like, how much longer am I going to let her get away with the fact that she's the reason we're in the situation we're in now? Because if you remember back to not last season, well, the beginning of last season, before her brother comes in, where they got the boat. Marty was ready to get them the fuck out of there.
Yep.
And she leans to him and goes, "No, we're staying, all of us." And Marty's just like, I'm sorry, what the fuck did you just say? Yep. I want to go. You know what I'm saying? And
that's how season 3 ended, right? No. Season 3 ended with what's her face getting shot right in front of them.
No. What season is this?
Season 4. Season 2 ended that way, I think, right? When they're getting the picture taken, they're getting the group picture taken by the boat.
Yeah. Whoa, no.
What's up, Mike?
No, I'm trying to think.
But I know it doesn't matter because I know what you're saying. He wanted to get out at one point, and that's my point.
Right.
Like, Wendy is power hungry, and the other question I have now is: let's say they do get out of this. How do you go back to a normal life?
I don't think they do. I don't think everyone survives. I think either Wendy and the kid survives or Marty and the kid survive.
Do you think Wendy turns on Marty?
It depends, because it's like she right now is working from a standpoint of thinking she has all the power, right?
Right.
She's what controls the cartel. She's what controls the FBI. But when it's made clear that she does not have the power she thinks, and the FBI or the cartel will easily just murder her and move on,
Mhm.
I'm curious when she comes to that realization. But I could see her doing something like where Javi goes, look, it's either the power in your kids or Marty. Like something has to go. You either lose your power and you all die, or he dies. And Marty is sitting there like, no, like there's a we have another way out. Like, don't do this. And she kills Marty. I could see it to where she kills Marty, then she dies, and it's the kids on their own. Maybe doing this whole shit all over again.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know, but she definitely feels like she killed her brother.
Yeah.
I'm like, I
I
have
look,
no reason to
she did
believe.
kill her brother, and you know how I feel about that, and I've said this before. That's kind of one of the reasons why I don't like. Apparently, you're gonna get this. No one will survive. Jawan will get it.
I don't. Oh yes, no one
Okay.
will survive. Yeah, that's someone's theme song. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So, oh crap, I lost my train of thought. What were you saying?
We were talking about Marty's wife probably getting him killed because she's
Yeah,
powerful.
I know, but there was something specific though I was about to say. Thanks, Mike. Fuck. Uh, what the fudge? What the fudge? All right, you say what you want to say really quick. Let me try to remember what I was gonna say.
Okay, so yeah, so I definitely think she's gonna end up getting them killed. I'm very curious. What does the son do? Does he look to go into money laundering now?
If he doesn't die, yeah,
Uh, it, I it's very rarely people kill kids
I know,
in any medium.
I know.
Now
It
look,
could be. He could follow. He could go down that road. He could even go work with the FBI.
he could. That's what I'm thinking. Maybe he does.
Marty could go work for the FBI because she's been trying to recruit him. I don't know if how that relationship is now, though.
I don't see Marty surviving. You ending this series
Hmm.
sooner than a lot of people thought it should be ended.
Yeah,
Kind of makes me believe Marty's not making it out of this. Marty's gonna die. Which sucks because this is a situation Marty never put himself in. His friends started skimming money, which is crazy. Because all right, so really quickly, while you're thinking of this, think about this.
yeah,
If you're Marty's friends, you got into this by watching someone who stole from the cartel get murdered,
yeah.
right? Why the fuck would you steal from the cartel knowing that's how you got the job?
I have
Was
no
that they
idea.
murdered the guy that was stealing money from
I know. I know.
like I don't understand. And it's like, remember, Marty got the job because he was smart enough to figure out that the money was being stolen. Why
Yeah,
would you not think that Dell would find someone else that could find out that the money was being stolen?
yeah.
I really don't understand the thought process of that, or if that was just retconning or bad writing, or they were just really fucking stupid. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I get it. Yeah,
goodness, because as I'm watching the flashback that Marty's having, I'm just like, wait, you got the job because someone was stealing money. Why? And that's why when he's telling Dell, look, Marty had nothing to do with this. I'm
mhm.
like, how the fuck do you think Dell would believe that? Dell's probably thinking, no, Marty probably thinks he's so smart, I won't notice that the money's missing. And
Yeah.
Marty's sitting there like, bitch, I am poor right now. What? Like, no, I don't know what's happening. So I just thought that was funny looking at that, and it's just like, you got the job because someone was stealing. Why would you think he wouldn't kill you? That's a
I
lot.
I don't know if this is what I was gonna say, but something else I thought of while you were talking. Going back to the PI that was relentless, where he's obviously still a play. So where do you see what kind of repercussions, or where do you see that storyline going with him?
I see him maybe peeling back too many layers and getting killed.
Okay,
Because here's the
possibly,
thing,
yeah.
Marty and them are working with the FBI.
Hmm.
We've seen this in too many shows or movies that the FBI will step in for an investigation and go, no, we'll handle it from here.
Gotcha.
Right?
Yeah.
And then if Marty dies, they'll just pin everything on Marty. Like, Marty was the one who killed the sheriff. Marty was the one who killed the PI. Done. Right?
Hmm.
Marty's dead, so done. Investigation over. But whatever he finds, it won't get him far. Because once the FBI finds out, like once he reports it to the cops and the FBI hears, they're gonna snuff all that shit out.
Yeah, they have to.
Right. So it
Because
won't matter.
anything that would, I mean, not that, again, like you said, they can eradicate it, whatever, but
Right.
anything that might point to them, they have to. They have to protect whatever. So I get it. I do remember what I'm saying because you had said about her, basically putting the hit out on her own brother.
Oh,
And I said, although stuff like that bothers me, hence one of the main reasons why I wasn't crazy about Godfather Part 2. But I understand in this situation even more so because he was mentally ill and because, well, I mean, obviously he stopped taking the medications because he wanted to bang Ruth. So we know why he stopped, because he couldn't get it up with the medications. Then being off the meds though, he went off his rocker. He approached
the
Helen,
daughter. Yeah.
Helen's daughter, yeah,
Yeah.
and basically tell the daughter what the mother was doing, and what the birds were doing, and he was just a loose cannon. So I know it was hard for her, and it was a decision that they had to make because guess what? If he doesn't shut his mouth, it's basically what she's going to probably have to decide at one point, maybe even this upcoming season. It was her brother or her whole family.
But see, that's why I appreciate Godfather more. Because in this situation, he had a legit excuse for betrayal, right? There was no function. Like we all have a function to where we think it, and
Mhm.
then it's enough time before we say it. His function didn't exist. It was just a thought, react, right? But Fredo, there was no sickness. There was It just came down to
No,
you just being a
Fredo was
little
just
piece of
dumb.
shit.
No, Fredo was just dumb.
But being a little piece of shit, dumb, I only accept if there is a legit sickness for why you're quote unquote dumb. You just
No.
being a clueless asshole.
Well,
Uh,
Yeah, because remember, that's why Fredo was never part of the business. That's why he was always
yeah,
Sonny and Michael because
right.
he didn't have that mentality. So when he gave up whatever information he gave up, he had no idea. And I believe this. I do believe that. He didn't know that they were going to shoot at Michael and kill,
Yeah. Only problem is in that line of business, you can't run your mouth to anyone.
right.
And he knows that.
I
That's
know.
why I always accepted that he had to go. That's the number one rule. You don't fucking talk business with anybody
Michael said
outside
that.
of the family.
Michael said that you never talk business outside the family.
Never,
Oh,
ever.
no, I'm sorry. He did. I'm pretty sure he said that to him because remember he was sticking up for Mo Green.
Right.
Remember, and
Yeah.
but that also came from Vito because
Yes.
remember when Sonny said something about whatever in the meet the sit down, he said don't ever let anybody outside the business know what you're thinking again.
Exactly.
Yeah,
100%.
outside the family. Yeah,
No, no, I know what you meant. I know what you meant.
yeah,
But that's why I said to me, I could I could understand for Ozark because he had a sickness, right? And he was and I cried watching his whole arc. Dealing
yeah.
with mental illness is something very dear to me.
That was a
Um,
powerful. That was really sad. It was.
so knowing how good of a person he was, I mean, the season starts off with him just trying to be a substitute teacher. The
Yep.
girl's getting picked on. I assume they sent out nude. They were exchanging nudes of her or something like that.
Yeah.
And he's a good person. He's a good man. But he has his trigger, and he doesn't appreciate people being used, treated like shit, and that seems to be his trigger. So to me, I'm like that was very heartbreaking, and Wendy making that decision made me hate her. But I could never compare it to Fredo because it's just like you just know better. You know better. I get that you don't have the business mind to know the inner workings of like, damn, if I say this, it could get my brother shot. Or if I say this, it could get my nieces and nephews shot. I get that he didn't think that. But the problem is the reason why you didn't have the information is because Michael understood that you don't have the capacity to understand what would happen.
But the difference is there's reasoning that he could be reasoned with. So the actions happened, right? Confront your brother. You can actually sit down and have a civilized conversation. Look, he obviously wasn't killed. His family wasn't killed. Nothing came of it other than a close call, a very close call, something that should never have happened to begin with. So I agree that what he did was stupid, but there's reasoning. When you can't reason with somebody, whether it's because of alcoholism or a mental illness, and their actions become a loose cannon, and they could not only inflict more harm on themselves,
Mm-hmm.
but in the course of whatever, also do harm to your whole family, that's more justifiable than being able to talk down and have a conversation with your brother.
I get your
Do you know what I mean?
I get how you're looking at it, and if it was on a way smaller degree, right? Like, I stole something and you snitched on me, right? And now I didn't go to jail. I just got house arrest, whatever the hell. Me and you can get past that, right? You didn't necessarily do anything uh that crazy that we can't come back from it. But unfortunately, that's not how that business works. One mistake could have meant everyone was done for.
What did he give up? What did he give up? Blueprints to the house? I can't remember what exactly
he gave. I can't remember exactly either. I can't. And I don't even want to paraphrase and sound even dumber than I think I.
No, I can't remember what he gave up.
But again, it's the simplicity, Joe, of if someone does that once, right? And I think the family thought, I think especially Michael, I can't trust that he won't do it again. Thinking that, hey, all I did was tell them that, the shipment was going here. I didn't think they would steal it.
Gotcha.
Fredo, what the fuck do you think they asked you that information for? Just to know? So I think Michael's whole problem was this mistake could have gotten me and my family killed. I can't risk him making another mistake.
I get it. I get it.
Succeeds.
And the other thing is too, and the only thing I'll admit about that, because it still bothers me, but they also did set up something. And guys, I'm sorry we just hijacked this spoiler review of Ozark.
Hold on. Time out. The reason why I like that we're doing this is numerous people, and you can go back to season 1 and season 2 when they were doing articles like the Hollywood Reporter and they were reviewing this. They said this is some of the best writing since The Godfather.
Okay.
So that's why I'm like, you could find so many different aspects of this that you can kind of compare to The Godfather. And I believe that. I believe I haven't seen writing this gripping to where I'm just holding on to every possible thing. Because I remember watching the first Godfather, not expecting as many deaths as we got.
Yeah.
Coming out of that movie. And I'm just like, what the fuck?
Well, a lot of it happened. A lot of it happened in the last 5 minutes of the movie.
Exactly. So that's why I'm like, you watch Ozark and you're just like, oh my God. This guy.
I agree. I love the writing of this show. And I like the fact that they're ending it now rather than it going any further.
And Godfather 3.
Yeah, exactly. But really quick, and then we'll get off the whole Godfather analogy and maybe even wrap up. But the one thing I will say about Fredo's character is they do set up at one point the jealousy, and because he makes the comment, I'm your older brother, I was passed over,
right?
So there could be that, it might even be subconscious jealousy, that maybe that is why he betrayed his brother, because he felt that he was passed over. So I do agree in that, and in that regard,
100%. That's what I believe. You're not that stupid that you think they wouldn't have done something to Michael. I think part of you, not all of you, but part of you was kind of thinking, well, win-win. They do it, I take over, right? And I feel as though I know how to run the business better, because he kept bringing business ideas to Michael that Michael's just like, Fredo, no, not right now. No, I don't even want to think about shit like that right now. So I'm with you. And we're seeing it right now with Wendy and Marty, to bring it back full circle.
Yep.
To where Marty was running everything and Wendy was kind of just like the stay-at-home mom. And then Wendy was just like, no, I have a political background. I could make things happen. I can shake and move. So fuck you, Marty. Let me take over. Yep. And then it started to become, well, goddamn. You do know Marty's not doing this because he enjoys it. He's doing.
She does. I think she does, and I think that's why. Yeah. That's why they're saying that she's like almost like the younger Darlene.
Yep.
Okay. So really quick before we end the stream, you had said that you think if anybody was going to get killed, it might be Marty. Maybe the son. I don't know if they were going to do that, but maybe the son does something. But anyway, what do you think about Ruth? What do you think her character does? I'm going to say this really quick about Ruth. I don't think we're led to believe she's going to go out after Javi, right? Mm-hmm. I think the fact that she has the baby with her, it might calm her down to the point where she regains focus, and maybe she just thinks about the baby and doesn't want to put the baby in harm's way. I get it. Wyatt was very close. She was very close with Wyatt, so I can see why she would want to still enact revenge. but I can see where maybe she doesn't, and maybe she does last. I don't know if it's a character that we think that might die. What do you think about Ruth?
Well, I hope she lives because I think what Ruth's not thinking about right now as she's trying to get herself killed is that she does have an alive cousin.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
So I'm like, I
Forgot
think
about that one. Yeah.
yeah, she forgets they live in a trailer park. So I'm like,
Yeah.
well, Ruth, if you die and the FBI seizes all of your money, what
Yeah.
the fuck is he supposed to do?
You're right.
And this fucking poor kid who's just sitting here existing, right? Like he was never part of any of this drug running or anything. He's
Nope.
just here.
Yeah.
You didn't killed his dad, his brother's dead. So I'm
Yep.
like, you're stripping everything from this poor kid. He has no uncles
Yep.
to go to. So I'm like, all right, well, if he dies, I mean, if you die, Ruth, what is
Yeah.
he supposed to do? So I'm with you. I hope Ruth looks at the baby, names him Wyatt, and then decides to raise him.
Yeah, because his name is Zeke now, but he can always obviously she can always obviously change it because
100%.
he fucking doesn't know.
Yeah, I mean, now, albeit a baby is kind of like a dog when it's a puppy and you call it a name, and it responds to that name. So changing his name more than once is kind of just like, well, you're gonna fuck with this baby a little bit. Like,
It's young enough though. It's young enough where she could if she wanted to.
Right.
And you think out of the birds, you think Marty's probably gonna be the one to go?
I think Marty will die. I hope the kid will die.
Okay. So you think Jonah, you want Jonah.
Yes.
Okay.
He's outlived his purpose.
All
yeah,
right.
like the daughter at some point, I thought the same thing where I'm like, this bitch.
I think Wendy, and I think I'm hoping Wendy, not because I don't like her character. She's another one of the top characters in the show, especially where she came from and where she is now. Marty will be a better role model, I think, for the kids. Although, I mean, I know what Marty has done throughout the course of this series. I get it, but Marty also did have good intentions when doing it for the most part. So, and I don't really think
they love him better.
Yeah, they love him better. They're closer with him, and also too, I think out of the two, when we're talking about Marty and Wendy, Marty's probably the more likely the one that will be able to go back into a normal lifestyle.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, and look, Wendy she's fucked up on every turn. I remember Marty said, "Hey, I know our daughter's trying to get emancipated. Do not go talk to her lawyer." And Wendy was just like, "Yeah, no.
Oh, yeah, sure. Of course not. Yeah.
No. It's like, where are you going? The grocery store. We need milk." It's like, there's milk right there. And you hear the tires screech off. God damn it, Wendy. And then he goes, do not mess up anything with Jonah. Let me handle it. She came back. He'll come back too. The first chance she got to fuck with Jonah. She
goes to the...
Like, bitch, did you try to have me arrested?
She goes to the fucking hotel. Dude, how fucking stupid is that guy? The one that lost all his money gambling or whatever. That's funny though. I mean, they put him in that situation though. But he ends up getting addicted to gambling. He fucking loses all whatever. And they're like, hey, you want to be a front manager for the hotel?
Bro, and here's the funny thing. They've always treated him like shit. Remember when his mom got hit by the bus or the trash truck?
Yeah.
And he goes, I'm gonna need our money back so I can pay for her hotel. The first fucking thing Marty and Wendy say is, are you sure? Like, bitch, what? My mom just died. Yes, I'm sure. Give me my money back. And they try to talk him out of that.
That was great. No, what about, it's even funnier when they needed the room. When the guy was when they're at the funeral place, right?
Yes.
And the guy's picking out a casket for his wife.
Yes.
And, maybe 15, 20%. Well, work it out. But you guys got to get out of here. I need
you got to get the fuck out.
Great.
And then Marty, you just hear Marty in the background. Now, please, now.
Yeah.
Right now. It's like,
great.
Get out.
But he started, I think, at 10%. 10%. I'm thinking, is this the one you want? 10%.
And then the guy's not moving, and he's
just get 15. They just kept bringing it up. It's great. Right. I love that. Was a great scene.
Free, whatever you need, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah,
right now. Jason Bateman is fucking.
And what do you think about Javi? You think Javi gets killed?
I think the FBI cuts their losses and realizes it's easier to work with his uncle.
Yeah,
than it is to work with him. He's just
But then they trap him though. They trap Navarro going back into, and then he won't be able to be Omar won't be able to have the immunity, right? He won't.
Right.
At least I don't know. Well, no, because if he has to deal with him, I think. Well, I know Omar was trying to go legit just to, because the war was over. They obviously helped him out as far as the war goes. That war, the FBI went after his competition, but with the nephew out, does that change things? Because I think he was worried about the nephew trying to kill him and take over the reins. No,
Well, now it kind of feels now it's dangerous because now if Navarro, right? Is it Navarro?
Omar Navarro. Yeah,
Omar Navarro. Okay, it's the Navarros. Okay, sorry.
yeah,
If he goes back to his organization, now it's kind of like, well, we know the cops picked you up. You were there for a while.
yeah.
Now you're just magically back, and your nephew is dead.
I don't know. Yeah, I
Like,
don't know
can
where
we
to.
trust that? You know what I'm saying? How do I know that you're not going to set me up or bring us all down?
Yeah.
Again,
Eh,
I think he mainly runs it with family, so maybe I'm overthinking it, but I know I would feel a little weirded out. Like, wait a minute, your nephew took over, then your nephew died. You were
You could
arrested.
pinpoint. You could pinpoint it on the nephew. The nephew snitched on you.
You could, you absolutely could.
Could do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. If they want, if especially if they want Omar back in power, they can make it. They can make it as so.
Yeah.
Just pin
I
it
do
on the.
always find it funny how drug dealers in these movies and shows. Hey, I've only been killing and selling drugs for like 30 years now, but I just want to retire. I
I
want to
want to
live
retire. I just need a normal
a nice
life.
life. It's like, wait. What? Like,
Well, dude, it's nothing like it. But I don't know if you saw the comment I made on your stream last night when you were talking about GTA and you're following traffic laws, and I'm like, wait a minute, hold on. You're killing and carjacking, but you don't want to go run through red
well, no.
lights.
What? And I didn't even respond to it. I'm sorry because I had the response in my head. I don't remember why I didn't respond to it, but I was saying the killing and stuff. I only killed in the missions. That's what I'm saying.
Wait,
Because
you never killed NPCs?
when I
Just right.
first started playing it, I didn't just randomly go around and start trying to kill people. I was trying to like actually play the
How
game
old were you
that
when?
I thought was the right
How
way.
old were you, by the way?
When I played Vice City, maybe 9 or 10, maybe 11.
All right. Because when GTA 3 came out, well, the first one, when GTA came out, which is the
Wait,
third,
let's
obviously,
see when it
because
came out.
the first two, it was 2000 when GTA 3 came out. 2002 when GTA Vice City came out. I
So
know
Vice
that.
City was 2002.
Yeah.
Ah, shit! If it was 2002, I was
You were 10.
Yeah, I was 10. I was 10.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was 10.
So I was 22. So I was older, so I would go around and well, 22 when what do you call it? GTA 3 came out. I was 24 when Vice City came out. But
Right.
when GTA 3 came out, I was like, oh my God, you can go around hitting people with bats. I was hit for some reason the bat was like my favorite weapon. It was just funny, just the way it sounded, but I would go around killing everybody.
Yeah, no, and look, once I realized that I did it too. But when I first played it, that was never like a thought of mine. Like I didn't have any friends that were playing it, killing people, so
Gotcha.
I
Yeah.
was just
Well, I mean, you're
playing.
10. You're,
Following the
you're 10
mission,
years old.
right? Yeah,
Exactly. Yeah, I get it.
I'm
I
just
get it.
playing the mission. So when I found out, I was just like, oh, I'm gonna run every light. I even was starting to take the street lights out, like hit the light so it falls down. I was going bananas,
Yeah, but
man.
then you fuck up you fuck up your car if you're breathing on it. And that's how weak these cars were. Like if you just fucking just went, it would put a dent in the car. I hated that. I was constantly at the paint thing, fixing my
Bro,
cars.
I'm telling you, when I think it was GTA 5. No, 4. Sorry, 4 with Nico. When they
Yeah,
first started to implement, you could fly through the windshield. Like if you crash, and I was just like,
yeah,
"Fuck! Why did you guys put this in here? Like that's the
yeah,
worst.
yeah.
I'm flying down this car all the time."
Yep.
But yeah, no, that I followed the rules literally that one time, and then never again, ever again.
Is there a release date for part 2 or no?
Jason Bateman was actually on Jimmy Kimmel
Okay.
2 weeks ago when this came out, and he was promoting it. And he said all he can say is it'll be sooner rather than later.
So I
Because
mean,
I thought
it's going to be
it would
this year, right?
Oh, yeah, he said definitely this year. But I thought
Summer.
it would either be summer or fall.
Okay.
But the way he made it sound is like maybe
Spring.
May, June, maybe around
Okay.
there, like literally the start of it. Because it's February now.
Yeah, yeah,
Like either it comes out in March or it comes out in May. I don't think it comes out anywhere in between that.
yeah. Okay. Well,
Yeah.
also too, you gotta because they have Stranger Things coming out at one point. I'm assuming is that going to be fall?
Stranger Things? No, Stranger Things I think is
Oh wait, I think they already said it's going to
they
be
did.
summer,
Yeah, I think June maybe.
June.
I think
I
so.
think you're right. I think they did say some. So I don't know if they're going to release those two.
But I also don't think because they're bingeable. I don't think
Yeah,
that'd be a problem because I also don't think your audience who watches Stranger Things also watches Ozark.
I
So
do.
I don't
I
think
do. You do.
no, we do, but I don't think
Yeah,
that's a global problem. You know
I
what I'm
got you.
saying? I don't
I
think
mean,
it's
I'm not going to complain. I wouldn't complain. Hey, the more content, the better, especially since they
sure.
raised their price to $20. Uh,
For
so fucking
$20, I better have a new show every fucking Friday.
put this shit out now.
Yeah, every Friday I better have something new for
All
$20.
right. All right. Well, I guess that's it. I mean, there's not really much to say. I look, other than I love this season. There's not one any of the seasons that I didn't like. I think the writing has been really good. Um,
I don't have one. I don't have one that I didn't like.
yeah, there's no season I didn't like. There's season that I probably like better. I'd probably season
Oh,
one or two. I think season one or two, like at the very start. And like I said, that's only because you had characters like Buddy and Dell.
no.
We were introduced to the Snells, and you see how crazy fucking Darlene is by killing Dell, I believe, in the season finale for season one. So there was a lot of things that happened
Yeah, I think it was.
in that season alone, but the arcs that these characters have come from, like I said, from Ruth, Wendy, obviously, Marty's pretty much been consistent. And although he's gotten more edgier, but that's obviously, what do you call it? That's expected for all the shit that he's gone through. And of course, the kids. We've had Charlotte switch from the rebellious, whiny teenager to where she is now, and now you got Jonah doing the same. So hopefully, either he gets offed. I don't want Jonah to get off, but I hope he has a change of heart. Maybe that isn't a dream sequence in the car, and he has come to terms with what his mom has done, and maybe they are on good terms now. So we'll see. But I can't wait for this part 2 to come out.
I
It
do
is the
have to say
finale.
really quickly.
Yeah,
I do always find it funny how drivers in shows and movies, instead of just using their mirror, they have to do the full. Yeah, like wait, what? Just look at him through your mirror.
yeah,
Like,
you can
why
see
do
the
you have to?
kid. Yeah, you don't have to turn around, especially when you're on a
And it's like,
freeway.
yeah, you're driving. It's like
Uh,
they forget. Like, oh yeah, wait a second, road. So how
Yeah.
are you doing today? And it's like, wait, what the fuck?
In all fairness, though, that truck was coming from the other side of the road.
Regardless, you
Yeah.
would have saw that
Yeah,
way
you would
ahead
have
of
seen
time
it. Yeah,
if
yeah, yeah.
you were
I get
paying
it.
attention.
I get it. No, you're right. You're right. I get it. Yeah. Obviously, when the second part drops, we will do a spoiler review for that. Stay tuned, guys, because tomorrow, what time do I have it set? I think for 12 and 1.
Shit, I actually just had it on my TV screen. Like
12 and 1, I think. I think I put it for 12 and 1.
Thank
Spoiler review for chapter 6 of Boba, and spoiler review for episode 6 of Peacemaker. We'll be doing that tomorrow. And then no Monday morning quarterback this week because Super Bowl doesn't happen until the following week. I was thinking about doing a Super Bowl preview, but probably not going to do that. We already did our picks and whatever. Maybe if you got time and we have time, maybe Friday we'll go on and talk about some of the awards that were given out the
I told
night
you, I always
before.
make time for you, brother.
Yeah. So
Whatever
I
you
wouldn't mind doing that. So what do you got coming up? I know last night you did some breaking news with some news stories that broke.
Yeah, we did GVN talk. Um, me and Joel have Much Ado About Nothing coming out Monday.
Okay.
And then Tuesday, Figure It Out, and then Wednesday, Galactic Review again.
I'm not gonna lie, I almost pulled the trigger last night on because thanks to Pete and JD in Facebook Messenger. I'm like, wait a minute, hold on. I can get one of the bats now for only $40 on eBay. They're like, yeah, but it's like $20. Like,
Right? Yeah, you're
wait,
old.
I wait till summer. We're gonna wait till summer.
Unfortunately,
I don't know. So yeah,
yeah,
all right,
we've
figured
been
out.
a very bad influence on you, and I love every second
Yeah.
of it.
And then Wednesday, of course, you're gonna be doing the Galactic Review for the season finale of Book of Boba, which I'm contemplating something. I don't know if you some. I mean, talk about it off air.
Yeah,
Talk about it off
right.
air. But like I said, thank you for stopping on. I appreciate it. I want to thank Mike for popping in and giving some wrestling references. I was on his show earlier talking in the chat, so I'm glad he, thanks for repaying and coming in supporting whatever. But guys, drop a like, follow back, subscribe, and also click on the link for Jawan's YouTube channel, which is in the description. Show him some love. Give him a sub. He's got content coming up. Like I said, I got content coming up as soon as tomorrow. So be on the lookout for that. Guys, enjoy your weekend, and we will see everybody really soon. Peace.
Sure. Peace.
Bye.